Welcome to Salad with a Side of Fries. I'm your host, Jen Trepic, talking wellness and weight loss for real life. We're here to clear up the myths, misinformation, bad science, and marketing to teach you how to eat and how to cheat. Are you ready? I'm having salad with a side of fries. This week, we're talking about Freekeh. And I know you're like, huh? What is that? So it's spelled Freekeh. And
Got it.
It's a grain. It is sort of a staple of the nutrition in North Africa and in the Middle East. So think like Syria, Jordan, Lebanon. It's essentially made, they grow durum wheat, and then it's harvested before it's fully ripe. So from these green kernels, basically, they then roast them, which creates this nutty, smoky flavor. And then after it's roasted, they're broken down into smaller pieces so that it'll cook faster. Now, I know a lot of people haven't heard about it before, but if you have, it's likely because people will talk about it in the same realm as like quinoa and amaranth, which we've talked about before in Nutrition Nuggets. So let's look at the nutrition facts, what benefits we might get from Freekeh, and how we can enjoy it if we want to. All right, so first, the serving size is 1/4 cup, and then when you cook it, it's going to sort of expand a bit. In that 1/4 cup, we have 141 calories, 2 grams of fat, 24 grams of carbs, of which we have 4.5 grams of fiber, and we also get 5 grams of protein. We also get micronutrients. We have manganese, a lot of manganese, quite a bit of copper, phosphorus, and niacin, some zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6. So magnesium supports sleep, supports healthy blood sugar levels, healthy blood pressure, right? Our nerve health. Copper is actually used like throughout the body. So you can think brain, skin, hair, eyes, bones, metabolic health, immune health. Copper is really supportive. With the manganese and the phosphorus, we get support for bone health, and the manganese also supports immune health. And I think this is interesting. So manganese actually can act like an antioxidant in the body, which means it can support healthy CRP levels or reduced inflammation, and it supports heart health. Freekeh also has antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin, which support eye health. Research actually shows lutein may positively affect ocular development at many stages of life. So both in utero and later in life when we often see age-related issues with the eyes. Going now to the macronutrients, right? Proteins, carbohydrates, and fat. We're going to see other health benefits too. And primarily here, we see metabolic health benefits like weight management. So first of all, let's talk about that fiber. So 4.5 grams of fiber in 1/4 cup is pretty good. And we know fiber supports digestive health, immune health, blood sugar balance, may even help protect against some cancers, right? And fiber also supports heart health because fiber can help lower cholesterol levels and prevent plaque from building up in the arteries. Now, last thing here, glutamic acid. Glutamic acid we also get from Freekeh, and glutamic acid is required for the body to create glutamine. Glutamine supports our muscles, both in terms of strength and endurance. So again, we're seeing metabolic health benefits with this grain. So all of this sounds pretty good, right? Are there any downsides?
Yeah, waiting for the catch.
Right. So we do want to consider the net carbs, right? It is still a grain. It's still higher in carbohydrates. So calculating the net carbs, it's about 19. There were 24 grams of carbohydrates, less 4.5 grams of fiber. It's like 19.5 if we want to be technical. So that's more than we want our net carb to be. Now, at the same time, we also have 4.5 grams of fiber in there, 5 grams of fiber, which is a little less than an ounce, right? And odds are, because you listen to Salad with a Side of Fries, you're going to pair this with protein, fiber, and quality fat, which can all help blunt the impact of those carbohydrates, right? But it's still worth noting. And this maybe has you sort of adjust that portion size. Right now, again, adjusting that portion size is also going to mean we're getting less of the fiber and less of the protein from that grain, but that's okay because we're pairing it with other foods that are going to give us those nutrients. So with those caveats, how do we have it? How do we make it? The good news is it's really simple to make. It's kind of similar to making like couscous or quinoa, where you boil the liquid, add the grain, reduce the heat, let it simmer till all the liquid absorbs. The caveat, or I guess the drawback, is that it does take longer than couscous or quinoa. But again, it's a more nutritious grain. So we might want to consider it anyway. It's also delicious. Instead of using water as the liquid, you could use some sort of broth. Adds a ton of flavor. And then once you make it, you could put it on top of salads. You could put it on top of a veggie side dish, right? Like anytime you want a little extra texture or a different flavor, we can add it in. It's great in soups. And then honestly, you can add any kind of spices and herbs. It pairs well with basically anything. But I think like the traditional ways it's paired with like sauteed onions, tomatoes, and spices, and then eaten with, some sort of protein. So I think I'm a big fan of adding more foods to our repertoire, right? And having options that offer us more nutrition than what we're used to. So especially if your go-to is like the microwave rice, I think Freekeh is an awesome upgrade.
It could be time to get your Freekeh on. With that,
I'm so glad you were here for that.
With that introduction, I mean, I felt like it was multivitamin. It was everything. It was, you're accomplishing a lot with that. So I'm going to check it out.
And still, everything in moderation, right? Like 100% all in on anything is probably not our best bet.
Yeah, I have such a problem with that. But yes, I love it. I'm going to stay after class and get more tips for sure. Definitely learned so much.
Awesome. Well, as always, everybody, I'm your host, Jen Trepeck. Connect with me on Instagram or all social media. I'm at Jen Trepeck, JENNTREPECK. Website is asaladwithasideoffries.com. Website is where you will find the merch. And pick your platform, send a message. I want to hear from you. It's what are your ideas? What takeaways did you have? What questions do you have? This is also the easiest way to learn more about working with me as your health coach. Abe, thank you again for joining me.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Welcome officially to Salad with a Side of Fries.
Oh my God, this is major. This is epic.
Major. And of course, everybody, if you are not already, join our membership program by going to glow.fm/salad with a side of fries to show your support for this podcast, this community, and most importantly, support your health. You'll get this week's recipe for the maple blueberry turkey sausage breakfast patties, 10% off sleep support products, and your quarterly live Q&A, which is a one-on-one just you and me. Well, friends, that's it for today's episode of Salad with a Side of Fries. Congratulations for making yourself and your health a priority. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to click subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform, share us with a friend, and we'll be back next week. Always remember, you deserve it and you are worth it. Happy healthy.